Hello, everyone. My name is Julie. I am the owner and founder of Lady Fault Eyes Apothecary. You are here today watching this video in regards to the new moon in Aries with the solar eclipse. Let me put my notifications on silent. Didn't realize those were on. Muting. All right. So, to start with, we're going to go over some of the astrology for today. And then what I do is I go over into some tools that you can work with during the new moon or full moon. In this case, it's the new moon. And so I don't do ritual live. There's enough people that do that online. So what I do is just kind of give you an idea of some of the tools you could use, maybe how you could incorporate them into your practice, and then let you go do your own rituals. So I am going to smudge just a little bit here if I can find a piece of sage. I had to finally throw my letter away. It just was not working anymore for me. So we are down to matches. All right. So a little bit for you guys. Some for me. Ooh, that's a lot for me. I must have needed it. All right. So we're going to jump right in. I'm going to leave that going. So if you see smoke, don't freak out. Nothing's on fire. I just let the piece of sage burn through. All right. So like I said, we're here for the new moon in Aries. It's also a solar eclipse in Aries. The sun is also transitioning into Taurus, and Pluto's in the mix a little bit. So there's quite a bit going on for today. So let me try to break it down so that it all makes sense, hopefully, and that it's information that will be helpful for you. So to start off with the new moon in Aries, Aries is our bold people, our assertive people, aggressive. If they're, get a little out of balance, they can be a little bit aggressive. So they have that fiery energy, that warrior energy. So all of that's going to be coming through for you. When it's in terms of a new moon, that's when we're in a transformation stage. That's when we are calling things in, we are manifesting things. So think of ways that you can take that energy of that bold assertiveness and use it in a way that's going to help you manifest whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So whether it be a career, a house, something like that, or it could be for the longest time I worked on trying to make a long story short, I was trying to release anger at the full moon all the time. And then I finally realized that I had to actually focus on calling in joy and happiness instead of just trying to release anger. So you can work on something like that as well. If you're not really sure where to start or how to start, please put it in the comments or send me a private message. I'm certainly glad to help however I can. So if you kind of know what you are looking for, but you're not really sure how to start, or maybe how to focus it down or anything like that, just let me know. I can do my best to help. So the combination of all of these things, the new moon in Aries, the solar eclipse in Aries, the sun moving into Taurus, and Pluto being in the mix, which Pluto is the planet of transformation. So it's like perfect timing that that actually is mixed in there, right? So like I said, everything is in perfect timing. Everything is right where it's supposed to be, right when it's supposed to be. I know it doesn't always feel that way at the time, but everything that happens to us, even the negative and the not so nice stuff, has a purpose. It's either going to teach us a lesson or make us stronger or something. So, but I don't want to get off on that tangent either. So, but it is all in perfect timing. So, All of these things lining up today is, just perfect for you to manifest. That is really going like crazy. It's perfect for you to manifest whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So let's go a little bit deeper into that. So we know the new moons happen every month. So that energy lasts about every 4 weeks. So when we start to start to call in things manifest, transformation at the new moon, we're working with that energy for a full month until the next new moon, right? So we have that going to be happening. So we're going to be working on whatever it is you're trying to manifest or transform, call in, whatever, for the next 4 weeks roughly. The solar eclipse. So this is a very rare solar eclipse. It's called a hybrid solar eclipse, and it actually only happens a few times a century. Again, it's all perfect timing, right? This hybrid solar eclipse only happens a few times a century, and it happens to fall on a new moon with Pluto in transformation. It's like the universe is like, there you go, right? So it's a clear message that it's time to be brave, and it's time to take a leap of faith. It's time to go after whatever it is that you want to go after, right? So, I mean, it's like the universe is holding up a big sign that says, what the hell are you waiting for? um, so yeah, so this solar eclipse in Aries is going to bring all that Aries energy, right? So that the energy, strength, um, I can't even, motivation, desire, boldness, assertiveness, all of those things are going to be happening. This solar eclipse energy is actually going to last us about 6 months. So it's going to take us all the way through to fall sometime, roughly sometime in fall. I didn't figure out like what 6 months were, but roughly 6 months is fall. So you've got a good space of time there to be using that solar eclipse energy to be manifesting whatever it is you want to be manifesting. So let's see, what's some other things that we can talk about. There may be some sacrifice, that may happen. Sometimes to call something in, we have to release something, let something go. For me, it was the opposite. To let something go, I had to call something in. It's going to look different for everybody. And again, if you have questions about that that are more specific or to you individually, put them in the comments, send me a private message. And again, I will do my best to help you figure it out. There could be some power struggles as well because of that Aries energy of being really bold and aggressive, especially if you already are in a fire sign. Aries is in my rising sign and Sagittarius is in my birth sign. So I already have fire in my chart. So this energy might actually be a little too much for me. It might tip the scale a little bit too much, that I might be too bold or too aggressive or a little too pushy. And so there could be some power struggles there. If you're somebody who is not normally assertive or aggressive, this energy may be perfect for you to help you kind of get out of that space where you normally are and maybe step up and what's the word I'm looking for? Advocate for yourself a little bit more than you're used to. So, that's just how, depending on where your placements are in your chart, is going to depend on how all the energies are going to affect you. Basically, what I'm giving you is an overview of the energy. And so, depending on your placements in your chart, it's going to affect you all differently. But if you are already have fire signs in your chart, it's going to be probably more important for you guys to try to stay in balance and try to stay centered. For the people who are not normally so assertive or bold, it might be, like I said, a perfect time to kind of jump into that and really advocate for yourself. But either way, you can use that energy to move you forward, for a fresh start. Whether it's, like I said, whether it's a job, a house, a car, so something, a physical thing, or maybe it's like, for me it was changing emotions, behaviors, things like that. Could be changing a habit. It could be a belief system. This may be something that maybe your spirituality has been in question for a little while, and this is the time that it's going to kind of all come together for you and open up. So we're going to talk about that a little bit too. So all these things lined up are also going to probably reveal some hidden stuff. So it's not, how do I say this? It's not so much about things hidden coming up. It's more about this energy is going to bring you awareness and clarity. So that's where that kind of comes in. Some things that maybe you weren't seeing clearly might become, more clear for you. So some things like that may be coming up as well. So, like I said, behaviors, habits, other people's behaviors and habits could be a possibility as well. If your goal is around relationship, that might be something that might be happening as well. There's an endless amount of possibilities of what it could be for each one of you. But just keep an eye out, be aware, and, kind of be open-minded to it all. So, yeah, so I think that's going to pretty much wrap up the astrology part of it. Like I said, if you have questions or anything like that, please put it in the comments or private message me. I will do my best to answer you. It's a little bit more detailed than what I do for the weekly astrologies on Monday, but it's still a pretty quick, short. I only spent about 15 minutes on it, so I could go a lot more into it, but I am limited on time today, and I really did want to come live and do this video, so and get at least some information out there for you. So we're going to switch over now to some of the things that you can work with during the new moon. Also incorporated in it was the solar eclipse energy as well. So one of the first things that I usually go over is an affirmation. So an affirmation, if you're not familiar, most of you probably are, but if you're not familiar, an affirmation is something that you say to yourself over and over and over again. Whether you want to use a set of mala beads to do that, or me, I like to I stick a sticky note on the bathroom mirror. So while I'm putting on my makeup or brushing my teeth or my hair or whatever, I can say that affirmation. It's a good time, like I said, when you're doing things that you kind of need to be doing during the day anyway, taking a shower. Say your affirmation a couple times while you're taking a shower. Say it while you're stirring your coffee. So, if you want to set a time aside, like I said, if you want to get your mala beads out and find a place to sit and kind of meditate and do your affirmation with your mala, that's great. If you're somebody who, like me right now, who is every minute is pretty much spoken for, you use the little minutes that are there that, like I said, brushing your teeth, brushing your hair, taking a shower, stirring your coffee, driving your kids to school. Again, whatever that may look like for you. So that's what an affirmation is. And that is basically to keep you on track, to remind you of whatever it is that the affirmation is about. So I usually pick an affirmation that is related to the energies. The one I picked is associated with calling things in, changing things, and also with the Aries energies. So that's kind of how I find an affirmation that kind of pulls all of that in. So that's how I pick an affirmation for each new moon and full moon. So anyway, the affirmation I picked for this new moon is I channel my energy into healthy and creative outlets. So I will put that in the comments. I channel my energy into healthy and creative outlets. Oh, it's not happy because I didn't capitalize I. I channel my energy into healthy and creative outlets. All right, so I put that in the comments for you, but you just heard me repeat it several times. But anyway, go ahead and write that down. Like I said, on a sticky note, stick it on your bathroom mirror, stick it on your coffee pot, stick it on the dash of your car, wherever, and just kind of repeat that to yourself over and over. I would say normally for the next 4 weeks, but really for the next like 6 months. But until you feel like, it has really kind of made an effect, until you, the whole fake it till you make it thing, keep saying it until you really believe it. So that's what really an affirmation is all about. So the next thing is tarot card. And so the tarot card for Aries is the Emperor. And so obviously I don't have a traditional tarot deck. I have to get one with sexy dark images on it. But it's a figure of royalty. It's a figure of authority, analytical, achieving your goals. So I really feel like that kind of ties into everything that I just really talked about. So you could work with the Emperor card. The Emperor card is the card for Aries, and it just happens to tie in perfectly, right? So, like, coincidence? I think not. I also decided, normally I don't do that. Normally I just pick one card, but this time, because of all the other stuff that's going on, I also wanted to pick the Sun card. You can see the sun coming up there. And the Moon card. So we have a lot of energy that's going on right now. Today is like I said, imagine the moon and the sun and the earth and Pluto are all lined up. Like, that doesn't happen very often. Like, probably never. Oh, probably not never, but not very often. So there's some powerful energy today that you can really tap into. So I really felt it was important if you wanted to work with the 3 cards, so the sun, the Emperor, and the Moon would be a nice 3-card pull to work with. So, so those are going to stay right there for me because I'm going to put them up somewhere so that I can see them. And that's how I work with them. I will set them up on my desk somewhere so that I see them. And when I see them, it reminds me of working with the energies and what I'm supposed to be doing and staying on goal and all of that stuff. So next is the archetype. And the archetype for Aries is normally the warrior. And I almost picked that, but I decided that I wanted to go a little bit of a different way. So the warrior is all about, can be heroic, can be, again, very forceful and bold and aggressive and protective and, also angry. But I think we're all fairly familiar with the warrior archetype. I don't know. I've talked about it before, I'm sure. But I really wanted to go something that was a little bit more geared towards the whole energy that we were talking about. And so another archetype for Aries is the pioneer. So somebody who is driven to be active, who wants to be adventurous, who basically wants to go out and conquer new territories, right? So I felt that really tied into again, the kind of being big risks, having confidence, going out and searching for what it is that you really want, taking that kind of leap of faith kind of thing, which ties me into, I keep saying ties into, I guess that's my saying for today. For archetypes, when I tried to Google Pioneer, like I really didn't get much. My phone is like bringing up all these things. So the image that I picked was this. So there's the pioneer taking that leap of faith. So that kind of was, there was a bunch of different pictures that came up. Some of them stupid, some of them about some guy, I don't know who he is, probably a rapper or something, I don't know. But there was some sort of card deck that came up with like this eagle guy wearing a raccoon hat. But whatever picture resonates with you. So if you put in archetype the pioneer and Google it, or whatever search engine you're using, most people use Google, but just scroll through the images until you find one that kind of speaks to you, that like you kind of stop and go, I like that one. So for me, it was this one. So that just kind of like really, like I said, ties in to the whole taking that leap of faith, of being adventurous, of going out seeking what it is that you want. So, and I usually, like I said, I usually find it on my phone, and this will probably be my home screen or lock screen or whatever for, the next few months. Usually, like I said, 4 weeks, and then I usually change it again. So I might change it after 4 weeks. It all really depends on what I feel at the time. So, and it's the same for you. Like if you only have it on your phone for a week and you feel like I'm ready to move on to something else, even if it's a cute puppy picture, whatever, use your intuition. If you feel like you're done with the image, then that's okay. You don't have to keep it any certain amount of time. But our phones, our computers, screensavers, things like that are really great ways to be able to have those images. And we don't have to go out and buy anything. You don't have to go out and buy 5 million different decks of cards or figurines of deities or whatever. You can just put them on your computer and work with them that way. So like I said, if you don't even have a tarot deck, you can just Google tarot card, the Emperor, and come up with images and screenshot it or download it or upload it or whatever, and use that way. You can also print them off if you have a printer. I like to suggest to people, if you have, like, just go to the dollar store and get a frame, like a 5x7, and decorate it for your personality. Now, mine would probably be black with some blue and maybe some silver on it. But maybe yours is going to be pink and glittery. So decorate the frame how you like it. And then if you print those pictures off, you can just change out the image depending on whether you're working with new moon or full moon or whatever image that you're working with at the time. And you can just change that out and maybe keep it on your altar space. So anywho, I'm ranting. So stones. Some of the stones I picked, I don't have, so I can't show them to you. But I felt they were fitting for today's video. So the first one I picked is black obsidian. And black obsidian is a protective stone. Black stones are protective. It's going to help clear out negativity, all those things. But it also is a little bit more specific, as it helps move obstacles that are in your way. So if you, like I said, if you're trying to reach this goal, if you're trying to transform, and maybe something's coming up that's blocking that a little bit for you, that black obsidian might help with that, moving that obstruction for you. The next one I picked is carnelian, which you guys are probably not surprised about that. Again, it's about creativity. Obviously, if we're trying to manifest and we're trying to reach our goals, we're trying to create something, right? But it's also good for empowering. So again, that goes back to having that confidence and being aware and just feeling empowered to advocate for yourself, to take those risks, to really tap into that confidence. So that's how carnelian's going to tie into all of that for you. And then the last one I picked was black tourmaline. And again, it's black, so it's all about protective for you. It's also really good for grounding. So if you are somebody like me who has a lot of fire in their chart, that might be like a really good one for me to work with to kind of help keep me grounded and not go too much over the top. But black tourmaline is also really good for bringing awareness. So again, what I talked earlier about, like some things coming up for you, clarity, awareness. Again, that's kind of all where that goes. So herbs and oils. I put them together because really you can work with them either way. If you have a couple of the herbs and a couple of the oils and you mix them together, that's fine. If you want to use just the herbs, just the oils, that's fine. You can certainly take the herbs and put a few drops of oil and still burn that as an incense. You can mix the oils and have it as a perfume or anointing oil. You can put it all in your bath water. There's a million things you could do with it. So again, if you need ideas, just let me know. I can certainly help you out. But what I picked for herbs/oils is the first one is bergamot. Bergamot is personally one of my favorites. I absolutely love bergamot. And the reason I picked bergamot is it's for prosperity and uplifting. So again, tying into that prosperity of not necessarily money, it might be money, but more of the prosperity of whatever it is you're trying to manifest, whatever it is you're trying to transform, the prosperity of that. So not necessarily money-wise, you know. So and the uplifting again, which kind of goes back into that boost of confidence, that empowering, the adventure, all of that, right? All right. So the next one I picked is patchouli. And patchouli is a little bit more specific. The reason I picked patchouli is it's for breaking patterns. So if you are someone who is trying to, like I said, break an old habit or break an old behavior, or an old belief system or something like that, patchouli might be really important for you. I know patchouli is one of those things that people don't always like, but I find if you have the oils and you mix maybe patchouli, just a couple of drops, you don't need it to be super overpowering, which a lot of people, when they wear patchouli, that's like they come into the room and that's all you can smell is patchouli. You don't need it to be that strong, you know, just a couple of drops. So you just get a hint of it. And so it doesn't have to be very strong. You don't need like a half a bottle of patchouli. A couple of drops, even one drop is fine. But yeah, it's for breaking patterns. So again, if you're trying to break a pattern, trying to break a habit, a belief, a behavior, a relationship, whatever it may be. And just to go back, when I'm talking about breaking a pattern, and we're talking about new moon, like I said, we're calling in. So it's like, well, how does breaking an old pattern call it, be working on something to call in? Like I said, think outside the box. Think of ways that you can do that. Like for me, I was trying to release anger. I was trying to let go of anger. I was trying to break free of anger. And I kept doing that full moon after full moon after full moon, and it just wasn't working for me. And so then I had to kind of flip it and be, okay, I'm going to start manifesting and calling in joy and happiness. And I'm going to focus on the joy and the happiness and not the anger. And that's kind of what got me out of that state of being angry all the time. So, think of what it is you're trying to release or break or change, and think of where you want to go instead of that. And that's what you're going to be working on manifesting, okay? All right. So the last herb or oil I picked is gardenia. And so gardenia is about they have lots of different properties. I'm just picking the one. I'm just telling you about the one I chose it for, okay? I think I have to sneeze. Sorry. Gardenia is about finding what's hidden. So we've kind of talked about that already, right? So bringing that clarity, that awareness, bringing up to the forefront what might be something that you need to know about. So however that might play into effect for you. So, all right, we're going to finish up here just in a second. We got 2 more things to do. So first we're going to go over colors. Colors are a really great way to work with all of the energies. You don't have to spend a lot of money to do that. I spend it mostly at the dollar store. I have a bucket in the house full of ribbons. I go to the dollar store and just buy a bunch of ribbons. I got $5. I'll go buy 5 ribbons in different colors. And I change those ribbons out, whether it's on, in my living room, I have some lanterns that are hanging, and I might tie the different ribbons onto the lanterns. I have a broom that hangs on my back door, so I might change the color of the ribbon on my back door. You can swap out candles. If you have candles of different colors, you can use different colored candles. Again, dollar store, go buy the placemats for $1. And if you have an altar space, you can easily change out the placemat underneath your altar to bring in the colors that way. You can go out and find flowers that are those colors. Again, think outside the box, and things that can be easily changed that don't necessarily have to cost you a lot of money. I mean, if you want to go out and spend, $50 on a Yankee candle, go for it. But I tend to like to work with the ribbons, because that's really easy way for me to quickly change out the colors and not spend a lot of money. And then when I take one ribbon off, I just throw it back in the drawer. So the next time I want to work with that color, I just go pull the ribbon back out. So once you kind of have bought your ribbons, you don't need to keep buying them unless you're a shopaholic like me and keep buying them anyway. But anyway, and I don't think you'll be surprised by the colors I picked, but gold. So gold is the color of the sun. So we're bringing in that sun energy, that life energy, and it kind of also is tying into that fire element as well. So gold ribbons, gold candles, a gold placemat. If you have a gold candle holder, anything like that, you can work with the colors like that. Orange, which is again kind of tying into that fire energy, that sun energy, creativity, because it's kind of the carnelian's kind of like an orangey red kind of color. So we're bringing in that creativity that way. It's also really good for luck and, again, that prosperity. So prosperity of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. And then black. I picked 2 black stones, black obsidian and black tourmaline. So the black that I chose to work with is for possibilities and mystery. Like when you see somebody all dressed in black, you always kind of like, I wonder what their story is. I wonder what's going on there. Black just kind of makes you feel mysterious. So, so the possibilities, the mystery of what might be coming for you, and make it a little, again, adventurous and exciting. to maybe see what's going to be coming for you. So, and lastly, our journal prompt. And I will put that here as well. It's a pretty simple question as far as questions go. The answer might not be simple, but what is my biggest dream? So that's a pretty simple question, right? I mean, it's not a very complicated question, I guess, or a complex question. The answer might be complex, but the question itself is not. So what is your biggest dream? What is your dream in life? Where do you want to be? Kind of where do you see yourself in 5 years? But also kind of tap into that, like, why is that your biggest dream? What do you need to do to acquire that dream? When did that become your dream? Like, has it been your dream since you were a little kid, or is it just a recent thing? So kind of like the who, when, why, and how, right, of it all. And so if you are somebody like me who doesn't, again, I'm not a big journaler. I don't spend a lot of time doing journal writing. I spend a lot of time writing, but not necessarily journal writing. But I tend to be very analytical and process things through my head probably way more times than I need to. So I go through a lot of this stuff in my head, but I really do feel like writing it down is beneficial. I can't wait for school to be done and get done my part-time job so I can maybe have more time to spend doing my practices that I really want to be doing. That is the plan for me. That is my plan. But school and has to be done to get that accomplished. And while I'm in school, I can't really be earning a ton of money here because I can't be here all the time. So I do need to have a part-time job to kind of help, with money. So those are all things that I need to do to get where I want to go. But the goal is, when that's all done, for me to be here and me to be able to have more time doing videos and appointments and having the shop opened. And, I've been wanting to do TikTok videos. I just haven't had time to do that, all that stuff. But anyway, that's, what is your biggest dream? What is going to need to happen for that to come true for you? What are some steps that you can take? What are some big steps that you can take? What are some risks you could take? Maybe how is confidence going to play into that for you? Maybe some awareness that might be coming up. How is that going to work? All those things. So it is a pretty simple question, but really when you dig down into it, there's a lot that you could really journal on that. So, but that's how it's going to end for today. I do have to run out because I have to go to school. So yeah, always something, always something. So yeah, I'm headed off to school. It's my late night, so my class goes till a little after 9, so I don't get home till like 10:30. So it's my late night, but I only have tonight, and then I have 2 more weeks of that class, and then I won't have any more late night classes. So I have a 3rd semester, but I won't have any late night classes, so that'll be a little bit of a help. Maybe not feel so tired all the time. But anywho, I really hope that something in this video was helpful for you. I hope that you got something out of it. It would be awesome if you gave me a thumbs up, subscribed, commented. Let me know what was the biggest thing that helped you in this video, what your favorite part was, whether it was the affirmation or the archetypes or the stones, or whatever, because that just helps me going forward making more videos if I really know what you guys are enjoying and looking for. So yeah, and share would be great. The more people that we can give this information to, it's going to be helpful to them as well. And maybe so you have somebody that is struggling or just as into astrology or whatever that might enjoy this video as well. So I don't know. So thank you for being here. And as always, remember to be kind. Your kindness is not only going to improve your day, it's going to improve somebody else's day. And it could potentially change someone's life for the better. So thanks for watching, guys. Love you.